Visiting Israel now is Madame Marisa Regules of the Argentine, who is here for a series of concerts with the Israel Symphony Orchestra and the Kol Yisrael Orchestra in Jerusalem. Tell me, Madame Regules, would you tell us something about when you first started playing the piano?
Well, I started playing the piano in my own country, in Argentina, when I was 3 years old.
Well, that's very, very young to start.
It is.
But tell me, do you have any recollections of your early childhood, the first concert you ever played?
Well, I played at the age of 5, but I'm sorry to say I don't remember anything about that occasion. Faintly, the dress, probably. I could remember the color and...
Well, perhaps you'd tell us something about that.
Well, it was a blue taffeta, if that means anything to you.
And from that first concert, where have you given concerts since?
Well, my first professional concert was at the age of 14 in Madrid.
And what other countries have you visited?
Well, I've played extensively in the United States, more than 400 concerts. And I played all throughout South America and Central America and Canada, and in most of the European countries. Recently in the Soviet Union, and also I've been in the Far East in Japan.
Perhaps you would tell us something about your studies in music. With whom did you study?
Well, I studied first in Argentina with Maestro Williams, who was my first teacher. After that, with Maestro Scaramuzza, an Italian who lives in Argentina. And then, when I went to the United States, I studied there with Madame Stokowski, Madame Samara Stokowski, Wanda Landowska, the Polish harpsichordist, and Arthur Schnabel.
And perhaps now you tell us something about the various scholarships that you've won.
Well, I won the one from the National Commission of Culture from Argentina in 1941, and that took me to the United States.
And can you tell us something about the various trips you have made in the United States? Any memories that you have of the various concerts you've given there?
Well, I've been touring for 11 years, almost consistently, so I travel. I think I know most of the cities, the important cities in the country, and I tour, it's called Coast to Coast, several times. And do you want to know about...
I'd like to know anything that you can remember about those various trips, if there's any outstanding memories that you have.
Well, my debut, probably, in Philadelphia. That was the most important memory, I think, because it has also the sentimental side of it, being my debut, and the first orchestra I played in the United States, with Mr. Ormandy conducting.
You mentioned before, Madame Regules, that you had given a series of concerts in the Soviet Union.
Yes.
Could you tell us something about that?
It was recently, in October. I was there for over 3 weeks, and I gave 8 concerts in Moscow and Leningrad, and also in Kiev, Odessa, and Kishinev.
And have you anything to tell us about those concerts?
Well, I was very moved in Odessa, where the concerts were sold out in advance, but the second concert, many people that couldn't get tickets went to the concert just to wait for me on the street and greet me, and I thought that was very moving and very exceptional.
Did you enjoy your trip there then?
Yes, I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was a very interesting experience.
Did you have an opportunity to tour the country at all?
Well, I went to those places I mentioned, and that was a good opportunity, I thought, to visit the country, because those were the most important cities, actually.
Perhaps you would tell us with whom you have played in the United States and in Russia.
Well, I played in the United States with very famous conductors like Mr. Ormandy, I think I mentioned before, Mr. Mitropoulos, Rodzinski, George Sell, and also in, this is to mention, I think it's some of the conductors that have visited Israel already, many others, and in Europe with Mr. Poulet, the French conductor, and Martinon, which I think he has been here for 3 years.
Yes.
He is, and a number of conductors, of course.
And you have also taken part in international music festivals. Could you tell us something about that?
Oh, yes, I was very honored to be invited to the Osaka International Festival in Japan in 1959. And also I played in the Prague International Festival last year.
Perhaps you'd tell us something about both those trips.
Well, were extremely interesting. Japan, of course, it has the interest of the Far East, which I enjoyed tremendously, especially the old Japan, the old cities like Kyoto and Nara and Kobe. I thought extremely beautiful. And the orchestras were very good, too. I was very much surprised because in a way I knew that in Japan there was great love for music and that the orchestras were very good, but I didn't think that the standard would be so high. So that was a very pleasant surprise. And in Czechoslovakia, of course, the Prague Festival is supposed to be one of the most important in Europe. So there was a tremendous amount of concerts. I think that in symphonic concerts alone, there were 22 conductors, four pianists, and 3 violinists and 2 cellists. But I mean, it's a very big festival. And the repercussion in Europe of this festival is very great, and I felt very honored to appear with the Czech orchestras.
And how long does it last?
Well, I was invited for 2 appearances with... every instrumentalist is invited to 2 appearances with the Czech Philharmonics in Prague. And also I toured the country. I played in other cities like Bratislava and Klatovy, etc.
And now to come to your visit here. Is this the first time you've been in Israel?
Yes, this is my first visit.
Uh-huh. Perhaps you tell us something about what you intend to do while you're here.
Well, I intend to, after I finish my concerts, I intend to stay a few days, as long as possible, because I'm very eager to know the country. And I'm very interested in visiting some of their archaeological sites. And, of course, I would like to visit one of the...
Kibbutzim.
I hear that there are some Argentine kibbutz, and I'm very eager to visit that.
And what concerts have you given up till now?
I played yesterday it's a concert for the youth, which I enjoyed tremendously. It's the first time, for me, it's my first experience to give a concert for the youth, and I thought it was magnificent. And I also think that the idea of having a series devoted to children it's a very inspiring one.
Did you find that they reacted well to the music?
They reacted in such manner that I really was entranced. And after the concert, I was almost mobbed by the children. And I thought I was like one of these famous singers, like Frank Sinatra or someone like that. It was very, very interesting and very thrilling.
I hope you signed your autograph to all the bits of paper they put under your nose.
I tried. Most of them I couldn't finish my signature because I already had another 10 or 20 programs, you see, and so I couldn't see what I was signing, but it was very, very interesting.
And then, yes, but now we haven't yet heard what concerts you are giving while you are here.
Well, I'm going to give again on Thursday with the Israel Symphony. I think this is a popular concert, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm playing Rachmaninoff third piano concerto on this occasion. Oh, I must say that yesterday I played Ravel for the left hand, which probably that was quite intriguing for the audience, because it's not very often that a pianist plays with only one hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that the children were very...
Did you have an opportunity to speak to any of the children at all?
Not very much. I tried to, though.
And now for our last question. I understand that you are interested in a film in the Argentine.
Well, I have filmed a movie in Argentina already on the life of Albeniz some years ago. And this film was shown all over South America, and it was shown in Hollywood too.
Perhaps you would tell us something about that film?
Well, it was on the life of Albeniz, a very famous Spanish composer. I'm going to play some of his music in Jerusalem when I play with Call Israel Symphony.
And you took the part of the pianist, presumably?
Yes, I did. Blanche Selva, who was a very famous pianist at that time. She was a French woman, And she was very famous. She was an excellent pianist, and also she enjoyed introducing some of the contemporary music. And she was a good friend of Albeni's, so she was the one who introduced his music in Paris. And that's the part that I played in the film when she was playing in different capitals in Europe, so in Paris and in Amsterdam, etc. I mean,
Well, meanwhile, you've duplicated her trip on your own account.
yes, and also, of course, I recorded the entire soundtrack, which means all the music for the film, which was mostly piano music, because Albeni's wrote mainly for piano. He has a few symphonic compositions, but not very many.
Well, I only hope that before you come to the end of your trip here, we shall have an opportunity of another talk together, and thank you very, very
It
much.
would be very wonderful. Thank you very much.